Let's see if we see our faces. If we see our faces, we have a go-go. If we don't see our faces, we have a no-no. That's my new catchphrase. I love it. Yeah, we can see our faces. We can see our faces. Let me just open my shit up. I got the wrong podcast title there. We can quickly change that. I thought I had my internet being done today. Turns out it's on Monday. It was really, really embarrassing. Oh, Marius. Okay. Oh, Marius has been playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 as well. That is highly interesting. Okay. Why? I'm a massive Tony Hawk's fan. I actually play quite a lot of it. Actually, it happens. We need to add each other so we can see the scores. I am on PC because I'm a snob. Okay, let's go, guys. Let's go. Okay. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Monkey Tail podcast. We're now live. We had some issues to start out. We're starting a bit late, but we do have Ben with us. How are you doing, Ben? Yeah, not too bad. And as always, of course, we got Marius. He's rubbing his eyes. He looks like he's a bit tired. I was gonna say the day is just starting. The day is just starting. We have a packed show today because we have some new games. We have some interesting news. Tell me why, guys. Why does this happen? We literally do a podcast on a Saturday. I do the editing on a Sunday, so it comes up on a Tuesday. But on Monday, giant news drop. And then we have to wait 2 weeks until we can talk about it. It's ridiculous, right? So we are going to be talking about the Microsoft buying ZeniMax news and having our late takes on it now. Oh, you cannot. Maybe we need to start again. 1 second. Thanks, Ben. Ben is always here to save the day. Say something, guys. And this is why we have the magnificent Ben here. All right. Say something now again, please, guys. No, nothing. Can you hear me at least, Ben? Yeah, you should be able to hear me. Yeah, I can see myself moving there. So that's something. It's a good thing Ben came in, otherwise this would have been a disaster. This would have been a disaster. Output device. Yeah. Yes, I'm glad you joined early as well. Right, this is on the right thing, but I cannot, as you can see, they're not moving. Say something again, guys. See, the Discord thing is not moving when you guys talk. Supposed to properties. Okay, I can fix this. That's fine. If I change that to this here, say something now. No. Oh, yeah, we go. Say something now.
Something now.
Blah, blah, blah. Yes.
I'll be back.
I think so. Right. Just get a confirmation from Ben that he can hear everyone, and we can start again. Good thing is we would have an intro, which is fantastic.
Yes, at least we didn't get too far. Good job he was here.
Yeah, Ben is the best.
There we go.
Fantastic.
Good stuff.
Fantastic.
Let's try again.
Hello and welcome to another edition of the Monkey Tail podcast, take 2. I have with me as ever Marius Dunkley. Hello, sir.
Hello.
And Ben with the bad back. How are you doing, Ben?
I'm alright, other than the bad back.
Don't move too much, okay? Just try and stay still. Perfect. Like I was saying on my first intro, which is now going to be an outro, which is confusing. Big news dropped right after we recorded our last podcast. A couple days after we recorded it, the news that Microsoft bought ZeniMax for a cool 7.5 billion in cash. That's the key there as well. Cash, not stock. Cash, cashaluni. Yeah, so that happened right after we recorded, so it's been 2 weeks, and we're gonna be giving, we're gonna be talking about it for a bit and just our thoughts on it. But I thought for the opening question, and there's not many out there, but from that's for you, Ben, because I know you're a Sony fanboy. You can answer the question for Sony, and Marius, you can answer the question either for Sony or for Microsoft, whichever one you prefer. But what developer, which has not been bought yet, would you like either Sony or Microsoft to try and go and acquire? Ben, you can go first.
The only developer I could think, Warner Brothers or whatever, whoever will
Well,
make
they were
Rocksteady.
they were up for sale recently. Apparently, they were up for sale for about 4 billion. But I thought Microsoft saw more.
Microsoft, yeah, they decided to we'll save some money and go and buy 15 rather than one or whatever it was.
Yeah. Well, no, they were on 15. They had 15 developers, and now they have 23. So overnight they went 50%. They had 50% more developers. What about yourself, Marius? Anyone in particular?
Nintendo should buy Kojima Productions.
Oh wow! See, this is why Marius is here for those hot takes. Yeah, Nintendo buys Kojima Productions. Yeah, I mean it's
that would be really interesting.
It's long been known that I'm crazy, and I kept saying it's not something I want. I kept predicting that Microsoft was going to buy somebody big, and I thought it was going to be Valve. I was wrong. It was ZeniMax. But actually, speaking of Valve, because Valve are buying a few studios now, smaller ones. But I think they should just go like, you know what, fuck it. Let's go ahead. I was going to say Valve buys Nintendo, and then and then we have Mario in VR. You know, the only Mario and Zelda you can get is in VR. That's it going forward. So Valve buys Nintendo, and even though Nintendo's not really a developer, it's a publisher. But you know what I mean. That would be interesting. But yes, let's talk about Microsoft buying ZeniMax. That's massive. So like I was saying earlier, so they went from having 15 in-house studios to now having 23, and obviously ZeniMax includes Bethesda, includes Arcane, and a few other ones. I don't know. I don't have all the names to hand, but essentially the IPs they bring into them are id Software as well. So they bring in Doom, they bring in Prey, they bring in Elder Scrolls, they bring in Fallout. That's just to name a few. Top of my head. Obviously Dishonored as well. So as a fan of all of those games and as a Game Pass subscriber, that's great news for me. So what's your initial thoughts on that? Anyway, were you guys surprised at all? Did they come from left field?
Well, yeah, I think that's a pretty major purchase, isn't it? I don't think anyone was necessarily expecting that one. I think it did come out of the blue. Yeah, I think it's great news for Game Pass subscribers. I mean, I'm not super excited about it because I'm not a huge fan of Bethesda stuff, to be fair. Doom is about the most exciting property there for me. I'm sure there's some others here and there that I'm interested in and would play. But for me, I'm not a huge fan of those games anyway, so it doesn't make a massive impact. But I think it's an absolutely huge undertaking.
Yeah, my initial knee-jerk reaction was, oh god, no! You know, the games I like are not going to come into a Sony platform. But the reality is, obviously, as the dust settles, and obviously it's not even happened yet, so it's going to be a few years before it actually filters through to actually what games are coming out. But Bethesda are still going to be publishing some of their games. I never buy games brand new anyway, so for me, I can just see it as it comes out on the Xbox first, Game Pass or whatever. I now have that PC with the Games Pass option, but I end up buying games cheaper later on anyway. So by the time they get to PlayStation, if that's the way that Microsoft are going to do it, doesn't bother me either.
And that's what I wanted to talk about, because obviously I'm not going to talk about who's winning or who's not winning. The console generation hasn't even started. It's very clear that the previous one, Sony, obviously sold a lot more PS4s than Microsoft sold Xbox Ones. It's also very clear to see that Microsoft's strategy for this generation is not how many consoles we're gonna sell. Is we're gonna sell you Game Pass, and that's how we're gonna dominate the market. In fact, they said. I think a year ago, they said that they didn't see Sony or Nintendo as their competitors, which everyone kind of like sniffed at. They said that we see Amazon and Google as our competitors, and everyone kind of like giggled at that. I think it's clear to see who's the big players, and more on Amazon in a bit when we move on to the next news beat there. But I think it's fair to say that if Sony bought ZeniMax, we will not be having this conversation about are they going to be releasing any games on Microsoft. I think the answer is fair to say will be no. If Sony buys ZeniMax,
Sony, it's ours.
Yes, you get fuck all. So Sony fanboy, you know.
And also Sony not in a position to ever make a purchase like this, completely unfeasible. Yeah. I heard another podcast they're a bit vague about exactly what it was, but something along the lines of like, what was this, 7.4 billion?
Yeah.
That's Sony's operating profit.
Sony's entire operating profit just for this generation. So from the release of PS4 to now is about 8 billion.
Yeah.
So Microsoft has just gone, well, here's a big pot of cash. Let's just line around, really.
Yeah, so Sony just not hope in hell of making that sort of purchase.
So there's a couple of titles that were already in development by Bethesda that had a time exclusivity with Sony. I think Deathloop was one of them. I'm forgetting the name of the other one, but there's 2 games that were announced, and Microsoft said they're going to honor that. Now, Ben, you were saying you got a PC anyway, so you can play the games on Game Pass, or you can wait till they come on PS4. I'm saying it now already. I'm not sure about Elder Scrolls, but certainly is a Starfield that their IP they've been working on. Bethesda, that's never coming on PlayStation. I can tell you that. There's no way they spend 7.5 billion and they're gonna release that as a multi-platform game. That's now an exclusive.
So, but why not?
No way.
They'd still get the money from it.
No, think about it. Okay, so I know they've done it with Minecraft, where they release everywhere, and they spent 3.2 billion or something on Minecraft as well, which is crazy. But yes, they could make that 30% on, but I actually think now Microsoft are playing a different game. Now they're going like, we can make the 30%, or we can make much more by making them come and get Game Pass. They might not get an Xbox; they'll play it on PC, or on xCloud. Think about this for a second. Yeah, they can get the Xbox Ultimate, the Game Pass Ultimate, and play it not on the PC, not on Xbox. Play it on the phone, play it on a browser, on a Mac. Yeah, that's the game they play now. So. I mean, I could be wrong. I don't know anything, but to me, there's no way that game is coming out on Sony. In fact, I think any game that's not a numbered title, I don't think you're gonna see them on PlayStation anymore now. Why? Why would they do it? You know, they have the exclusivity.
Well, I guess it would come down to the publishing side of things. If Bethesda are like, well, actually, no, we still want to put it on as many things.
It doesn't matter. Microsoft own Bethesda. Microsoft just tell them what to do. Exactly. I mean, I don't think it's as clear cut, and they definitely won't be there. I see your point, but also Microsoft aren't really losing anything by letting those come out on a Sony console, because they're still getting the money from any sales over there. But also they're able to go, oh yeah, buy it over there for 70 quid if you want, or why don't you just have it on Game Pass for £8 a month?
It's clear that certain titles, I think, are still going to be published in all platforms. And yes, exactly with that point, you know, pay us the £8 or go and pay the £70 over there. And also, by the way, it's on day one on Game Pass, and maybe it's a year from now when it's on the other consoles. Mm-hmm. So they can definitely do that, and I think there'll be a certain element of that. But I think certain titles, now that they own all those studios, there's no reason for them to release it. I think your big names, your Elder Scrolls, you'll be leaving money on the table. If you don't put it on the PlayStation, you're leaving money on the table, of course. Yeah, so you need to release it there because you're gonna make more money by doing so. But certain titles that are not out yet, new IPs, why would they put it on multiplayer? They don't have to. I mean, they might do it in the future, but certainly there's no need to do it straight away. So I definitely see them see them doing that. I think it's a massive move by Microsoft, and they're not done yet. They're saying they want to add some more studios, and there's some people saying there's some allegations that potentially they're trying to get Bungie back. They're trying to get Bungie back. I don't know if that's true or not. I think Bungie, they left Activision. That potential there. With the way Halo is at the moment, they might be trying to get them back to maybe a division of Bungie working back on Halo, and then the other division working on Destiny, and then do whatever they want. I could see them buying them again. Anything is possible, really. I can see Microsoft buying EA. I can see Microsoft doing whatever they want.
Well, they're already quite close together, aren't they? EA Play or whatever it is part of Games Pass now as well, isn't it?
Game Pass Ultimate. And the Game Pass Ultimate is looking more and more interesting. As I work from home at the moment and do everything from home, the xCloud thing doesn't seem that appealing to me. But when I'm back working and I want to be able to play something on my laptop or something on my my lunch break, the xCloud is something that becomes very appealing. And then when you have the EA access and everything thrown into it for, I think, £16 or something, and then you add another £4, you go an Xbox One S. It's ridiculous. It is the amount of things they're doing here. Like the value is crazy. So I think this is a massive move. The other thing which is interesting, we haven't really talked about, is the Game Pass. In the last 6 months, they went from 10 million subscribers to 15 million. So in 6 months, they gained 50%. They went up by 50%, and they gained 5 million subscribers. That's in June, and it keeps going up. With this acquisition and other things happening, I could see them reaching 20 million probably by the end of the year. At the rate they're going. So they're really picking up steam and finally becoming the Netflix of video games. Something I wrote an article about it years ago, saying the future is digital. I was only out by about 7 years, but I think we're finally there. And yes, and just one final thing on Microsoft, they're being proper consumer friendly here. Like obviously the new series consoles are compatible with all the peripherals from the previous one. They bought ZeniMax just now. Doom Eternal is already coming out on the 1st of October. First of October already gone. So Doom Eternal is now out on Game Pass. They're really giving great value for their customers, and I'm loving it. As I've always been, as you guys know, I'm a fan of Microsoft and what they've been trying to do. So I think this is great.
On that note, I mean, I still won't buy an Series X. I still don't have Games Pass, and I'm still a Sony fanboy. So it's obviously a very good deal. I'm not going to take away from that, but they still haven't done enough to convince me to jump back to Xbox. I mean, Halo was the first reason that I got an Xbox. The original Halo, traded in my PS2, and was 360 up till then. But now I'm a fan of the Sony brand. I don't see my future having Games Pass or all of those wonderful games, because I like.
Sorry, I understand I understand that for Xbox, but now you have a fancy PC. Why the fuck are you not buying Game Pass?
I haven't played anything on it. That's the trouble with my lifestyle and the way that I am. I've built my nice new PC. The best thing I've played on it is GTA 5, which does look very nice. But to sit and actually play games for more than an hour is very rare in my experience. So perhaps on the Games Pass and the xCloud side of things, great. But if I'm doing that, I'm playing Elder Scrolls Legends on my phone, which is a Bethesda
but it still makes more sense to pay for Game Pass than it does to buy bloody GTA 5.
Yeah,
you've spent more money on GTA 5.
That was actually free with Epic Game Store.
Right. Okay.
So all of my PC games are free or cheap in a Steam sale. So again, it's great having all these places to play all of these games, but there's too many, and it's always that argument of there is too many games to play. So I don't need to spend.
Yeah, I think if you have a PC and you don't have Game Pass, you're missing out on literally the best in gaming at the moment, bar none. There's nothing that comes close to it, in my opinion.
Yeah. But I'm also of the mindset of I can afford to buy a game at £70 if I really wanted to, but I'm also smart to buy it second-hand for 15 quid and have a physical disc version of it.
We have a guy that plays with us. We have a guy that plays games with us. Newf, his name is from Canada, and he hates Microsoft, even though he has a Microsoft. So he has a PC with running Windows 10, right? But he hates Microsoft, but he loves Flight Sim. But he refuses to spend money on Game Pass as well. No, I don't see the point of it. Spent 80 quid or whatever the Flight Simulator cost on Steam. He's quite happy to pay 80 quid, even though that would give him pretty much Game Pass for
I mean, that doesn't make sense.
No,
but it doesn't make sense.
And what you're saying, I mean, if you're saying you don't have time to play the games, then that makes sense. If you're saying you prefer to buy the game because you have money to buy the game, then to me that doesn't make sense anymore.
Yeah. But I'm a collector. I'm a physical collector, so I wouldn't spend 70 quid on a digital game. No, fair enough. Never going to happen.
But I think we could obviously talk about this till the cows go home. I just want to touch on a couple of points here from chat. So Ben was saying if any big purchases that either Xbox or PlayStation should be trying to do is getting Take-Two Interactive. Obviously, they have Take-Two Interactive have Rockstar,
Rockstar,
and 2K games. I don't know how much they cost. I don't think Sony could afford them. To be fair, Microsoft could probably afford them, but I don't know if they but yes, I completely agree. And he also says on Minecraft, when Microsoft bought Mojang, they already had the game was already out on the PS3, so it didn't make a lot of sense to take it off PS3. So I guess
but they put it on the PS4. So
I know, but what he's saying is they already had a user base there, and Microsoft are now in the business of losing users that buying microtransactions on their games, right? So I think it's fair. What Ben is saying is if the game was not out on PS3 already, then it could have been different. Maybe they would never have made it a multi-platform game, which I think is a fair point.
Yeah, no, I agree.
And obviously, then it is well. The other thing he's saying as well, because obviously I said that there's two Sony games, Deathloop, and the other one that was they were honoring their obviously contract. What he's saying with Starfield is there might be contracts already done in the background, which Microsoft said they would honor. I think Microsoft said they will honor contracts. I think what they meant is anything which is public. I think anything which is not public, they can go like fuck you.
Elder Scrolls is just
it'll be anything that's signed.
Yeah,
and they're legally obliged to. That's what this comes down to. It doesn't matter if it's public or not. Once it's been signed, if a contract's been signed, that's it. Unless they pay a shed load of money to get out of the contract.
Contracts have a clause to cancel the contract, so they can easily Starfield. They can go like, here we go, that's some money. Fuck you. It's coming out on the Xbox on Game Pass only. But yes, okay. So that's fascinating. I think this completely shook the gaming world. It surprised me as well that it was not the biggest acquisition ever in gaming. Do you guys know which one was the biggest acquisition in gaming?
No, I don't know.
Yeah. It was Tencent buying the people that did Clash of Clans. That was 8 billion for that. So that's interesting. Right, let's move on then, please, to the next bit of news, and brought to us by Marius, which is the Amazon Luna, which is Stadia for Amazon.
So Amazon have done what Stadia should have. By the sounds of it, it's basically everything Stadia said it would be and isn't. Is what Luna is. So again, it's like a subscription model. So it's like Game Pass in the sense that you pay the subscription, which I think it was $6 a month.
Really cheap, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the library of games. I don't think they've announced a list of games that are going to be available.
And that's the thing on the price there, Marius. And that's the thing about Game Pass. £6 sounds cheap until you see the library, because that £8 is now what Game Pass is, and that's a proper library. So it all comes down to the games, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. But I'm glad to see someone else has jumped in there and showing Stadia how it's going to be. I'm just wondering, is it just a matter of time before Stadia give up on their you must pay for the games approach and start doing Stadia as a subscription.
They're going to have to. They're going to have to, because it's not sustainable to pay for games and or pay for access to games and then pay for the games on top.
I have a question on that.
Madness.
Does Amazon allow? Because obviously there's gaming channels, a bit like the Wii used to be. So you have the gaming channels. You have Ubisoft already having a channel there, and obviously the Amazon channel, which has their games as the subscription. Do they allow Microsoft to put the channel there? Here we go. There's the Game Pass channel. Do you think they allow that or not, and take a bit of a cut from it? I don't know. That's a world we live in, because
Again,
if they do,
we're in a world where everyone wants to make money. So
if they do, I'm buying that day one, because I get the controller, I can play it anywhere, and I can play my Game Pass on it. Fantastic. So do they allow it or not? And if they do, does then the Xbox Series consoles and the Windows Store have an Amazon Luna app as well for you to vice versa? Because I think that's what we go into. It's you just which channels are you subscribed to, and then it all comes down to the game library. But you're right,
and they're also getting it to work on iOS via the browser, whereas none of the other streaming services are on iOS. How long that'll last?
How long do you think Apple? Somehow Apple's going like, interesting. Somebody's going to the people that do Safari, whatever the department that does Safari. Can we have a conversation here, guys? We need to cut this shit down. I don't know. It's interesting. On that, I've been following the Epic Games versus Apple thing quite closely, because secretly I always wished I was a lawyer, but I never fucking stayed in school. I was an idiot. Never actually studied for it. I should have done it. I think I would have loved it. So I love litigation and all of that shit. But they had a pre-hearing thing, and it's going to proper court now with a jury. But they got absolutely destroyed on the pre-hearing. Epic did, because the judge was completely unsent. Everything they came in, she was just taking them down. They were saying things like, the iPhone is not the same as an Xbox or PlayStation, because you cannot put it in your pocket. And then the judge said, you can put the Switch in your pocket, you still pay the 30% there. So little things like that, they were just getting absolutely destroyed. Pretty much everyone now, all the experts and lawyers are pretty much saying that they're gonna absolutely get destroyed so they're gonna probably settle outside, settle as in, i.e., we're sorry, can we put it back on your store? We'll just obey your rules and we'll shut up going forward. I think that's going to happen very soon. I think it's very unlikely this will make it to court in June next year now, because the arguments were all destroyed in court. So which it was always going to happen, But I think it's fascinating. I do. Oh, we lost the Ben. I think he's either getting more comfortable or dying. We'll see. Let's hope it's the former, not the latter. Should we move on to the playlist? Have we got any more gaming news?
No news. I mean, Tokyo Game Show happened, but I don't know anything about it. I have literally nothing to say. So let's move on.
And I know the people that do. I forgot. Insomniac changed the face of Peter Parker or something
Yeah, I sort of saw that and didn't bother reading any more about it, to be honest. But that's a weird thing to do, isn't it? Is it just me, or does that seem like a really weird?
It is a really
weird. Must be labor, time, and cost intensive process to completely change the face instead of just up-resing it and making the existing face look more pretty.
My thing here is, I think the actor that they mock-up for the first thing either asked for more money and then they said fuck you for putting a new actor in, or slept with somebody's wife. I think it's one of the other.
Perhaps, you're probably right. He's done something to upset somebody.
Yeah, it's one or the other. I'm going to sleep with somebody's wife because that's funnier. Right, on the playlist, then we have Marius and I both been playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, the remake. And I'm gonna, before you say anything about it, Marius, I'm gonna put this one in there as next to the Resident Evil 2 of This Is How You Make a Remake.
Yes.
Do you concur?
Okay, concur.
How good is this? So good.
It is fantastic. To be honest, this is just what I bloody needed. I've been humming and ahhing about it for a while. I wasn't sure whether I was still into that type of game or not, and I've been in a bit of a lull. To be honest, I slogged my way through to the end of Halo, and like I tried a couple of I had a go at a couple of other games, and nothing was really. Just you know how you get that every now and then, don't you? Where you just get in a bit of a gaming lull and nothing seems to be. And I was like, I don't want anything big. I don't want anything that I have to sit there for bloody 10 hours to get to the bloody end of it. I just want to play a game, something a bit more immediate. And I was like, fuck it, I'm doing it. I'm going Tony Hawk's. I do not regret that decision in the slightest. Absolutely brilliant. Like you say, it's a great remake. It just, all the like I don't remember everything, but like a lot of stuff, it feels comfortable because you know where all the levels are because I played it so much first time around. The music, obviously, it's not my sort of music, most of it, to be honest with you, but it just fits so well with that property, and obviously there's a nostalgia factor from remembering that music. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. I think I don't think I'm very good at it anymore, to be honest with you. But yeah, it's the sort of thing I can put a lot of time in without having to put a lot of time in, if that makes sense. Like I can just do literally each run's 2 minutes. I could go in and do like 3 or 4 runs and then go off and do something else. And I can probably do that for quite some time. And so far I've like 100%ed the first couple of levels. And I'm just gonna make my way through. The only thing I'm sort of missing, which actually I think I'm missing it because it only came in on the third game. But I sort of quite liked in the third game you could, like, if you did a certain trick in a certain place, or you did a grind on a certain area, it would like change the levels and deform the levels. So they then like something different was going on in the levels, and I sort of quite like that. And I certainly haven't seen it yet, but at first I thought, they've got rid of it, but then I was thinking, oh no, actually I think that didn't happen till the third one.
Yeah. Are you talking about like secret areas sort of thing? Or
no, there are. I think there are secret areas. No, it used to be like you would actually do something and like the bits would fall off the level or something like that. So it actually changed the layout of the level.
Yeah. So for certainly, I mean, I've done a bit more than that. What I recommend, because I was doing what you did, Maris. I was doing each level 100% and then move on to the next until it's done. I would give up with that at the moment. Because you need to up your skater. You need to get the stats up so that you can do certain things. So I would almost do all the tracks as you can, just to unlock the skill points, because each of them have like 2 or 3 skill points per level. Get your guy up to really good stats, and then go back and actually. So then you can do higher jumps. You can do it's more fun that way for me. Anyway.
That sounds like very, very sound advice. However, I'm a bit too stubborn when it comes to these sort of things.
Maris is going to do it the way Maris wants to do it.
I know it's probably not the right way, but like I sort of like doing it. I like doing one and saying, right, that's it. I've finished that one. On to the next one. Unless it becomes untenable for me to do that, and so far I haven't found that there hasn't been enough difficulty in any of it.
You only done the first 2. So when it started having to get lots of air to go and get a particular fucking secret tape or something that's on a really difficult, you go like, you know what, I need to up my air or for that jump.
If the time comes, then I'll do it, but until then I'm sticking with my process.
But my thoughts on it, I got it on Epic Games because that's the only place you can get it on PC at the moment. But I was umming and ahhing like you. It's £40, which is for a PC game is quite a bit, I think.
That's interesting because it's $35 on the PS4 retail.
Right. So it's £40 on Epic. However, Epic likes to throw money at people. So when Rocket League, which is an abomination of a video game, came out on free to play on Epic Store. Literally, the only way they can get people to play that abomination of a video game is they said, if you add Rocket League to your library, we'll give you £10. That's it. No strings attached. You not even have to download it. Just add it to your library. We'll give you £10 to spend on anything. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it this once. I'm not gonna play it. I'll add it to my library. Can I delete it? No, you can't. Okay, it'll be there.
No.
I'll just press hide. The game never shows again. They gave me the £10, made the game £30 only, which was a lot more palatable. I thought, because there's something about that $29.99 he made it, so something about having the 2 next to it made it more fun. After playing it for as long as I have, 40 was absolutely fine for it, to be fair. But when I started it, it comes with a tutorial. Do you want a tutorial? I'm like, tutorial, fuck this, And what I was surprised was, within less than I would say 5 minutes, I was doing manuals onto grind, onto kickflip, onto the muscle.
Yeah, it just come back. Yeah, very quickly,
straight away. And I've been loving doing all the levels. And quickly I decided to do this strategy of going through all the levels and getting the skill points to up my character. And also get you can have extra places where you can do custom board tricks as well by adding them, and you can change them as well. Some of them, the more points they give you, the harder they are and the longer they take to perform. So you can change them to. So there's one in particular which is quite easy to do, which is a special trick which you can do. So you can go from manual onto this trick, back to manual onto grind, which really ups your combos. So now I'm doing 150 to 200,000 combos, like, just for fun, without even thinking about it. And yes, the music is great. I mean, not all of it is there. It is my type of music, which is better. It helps if it's your type of music. It reminds me of my childhood, and I just love this game. And I have no doubt this will be one of my top 5 games at the end of the year. No doubt of it. And it's going to be a second year in a row that I have a remake. I don't think it's going to make it first place, but it's going to be there. Ben is looking at his massive PlayStation 1 game library there.
Seeing if I still own the originals, but I don't think I do. But I've noticed I've got Micro Machines twice. I've just bought that recently.
Micro Machines on the PlayStation. I don't remember that on a PlayStation.
Micro Machines V3. Remember this one?
It was shit.
I remember it. It was just about passable.
Yeah.
It was the last one that was okay.
But
Tony Hawk's, yes. I'm amazing at, and I will pick it up. I did watch the the dev reacts to speedruns things.
Yes. Yeah.
And there was a guy that was doing all of the levels within a minute, doing all of the challenges in one run. It was quite impressive, and I thought I was good at Tony Hawk's, but again, it's the internet, and you see the wider world of, actually, I'm not that good at these games.
I've seen the same video, and it's ridiculous. Some people are just ridiculous, and I've seen the devs react to Dead Cells, because I was going for my second, for my third boss cell, and I saw this French guy, playing with 5 boss cells, which is the highest difficulty, and going to the end and beating this extra boss that shows up only when you have 5 cells on. And it disheartened me to hear that none of the developers can get there. Literally none of the developers can get there. They built a game they cannot beat, but this guy was just going through it. Anyway, but on Dead Cells, probably give a good segue to Spelunky 2. I've been playing Spelunky 2. That came out a couple days ago, literally, and I cannot stop playing it. I think, first of all, I was playing it and I was thinking, I don't see any difference from this to Spelunky, the first one. I was playing it and I was like, okay, there's different characters, etc. And now, rather than rescuing the damsel in distress, you have the pug to rescue. I'm not seeing a massive difference, and I was quickly disabused of that notion, because as I played more of the game, there's actually a lot more thrown into this game. There's things like mounts now. You can mount, like, say, a turkey, for instance, but whenever you jump on top of the turkey, it just goes crazy, and then you obviously there's so you have to tame it, but that going crazy can get you easily killed on a spike or something, so you need to consider that. But then if you have that, you can use the turkey. Say when you jump down, you can hold it, so he flaps his wings to soften your fall. And at the pinch, you can kill the turkey with a bomb, and you eat the turkey, and then you get 1 extra heart. So there's a lot more gameplay added to it now with this mounts. There's a lot more characters you can bring to help you as well. When you rescue them from the sarcophagus, there's mines within mines now. So each all the levels now have another level behind it. So you can go through it and sometimes navigate through the other level to come up on a different part of that same level, if that makes sense. So they've added a lot more to it. Whenever you finish the first 4 levels, if you guys remember the first one, it's all about shortcuts. You finish the first 4 levels, you bring something to the girl 3 times, something different, and then you have a shortcut. You can start from there. But now at the end of the first level, there's literally two pathways you can go, and then after that, so there's a lot of different pathways. I'm working on my I've done my first 2 shortcuts. I'm working on my 3rd shortcut at the moment, which is proving very difficult. But it's just that game is so satisfying, because I just love it. I just love trying to keep going for it, and I die. I'm like, oh shit, I died stupidly. There's also bear traps now, which are hidden in the grass. And you fucking think I'm doing real well. I've got six hearts. I got a jetpack on. I have this. I'm really doing well. And then you walk and bear trap kills you. Start again. I love it. That I know you were a fan of the first Spelunky yourself, wasn't you, Marius?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I don't think I was into it as a lot of people seem to be, but yeah, I certainly enjoy it. I didn't get to the end of it or anything, but yeah, it's definitely an enjoyable, entertaining, and amusing game. When all the physics shit goes crazy on you.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I wouldn't. I'm not not keen to rush out and buy Spelunky 2 as per the first one. If it comes on PS Plus or Game Pass or something at some point, then I'll have a go.
It'll be on Game Pass at some point.
Yeah, I think so.
Either that or it'll be free on Epic Games at some point, for sure.
Yeah.
I was quite happy to pay. I was 10% off, obviously, when it came out. I was quite happy to pay the £13 or whatever I paid for it. I've already put easily over 15 hours onto it since it came out. It came out a couple of days ago. I cannot stop. It's the perfect game. I always say this and people laugh, which is, I like a game I can listen to a podcast to, not an audiobook. When I'm listening to an audiobook, I cannot do anything else. The only thing I can do is drive. That's about it. I cannot play a game and listen to an audiobook, but I can listen to a podcast and play a game. And that's the perfect game to just take the music off, leave the sound effects on only, put a podcast going, and just listen. I listen to all my podcasts, my back catalog of podcasts, and as I'm doing runs, it's just the great game to do those. And yeah, I love it. At first, I thought it was just a Spelunky 1, but now that I'm seeing, there's a lot more. There's challenge rooms now. There's a lot more to it, and it's certainly filling the roguelite need I have to play. That Cells was doing that, and I might still go back to it and try and get that 3rd boss cell. I think that's my limit, though. 3rd boss cell might be my limit. I don't think I can go for the 4th. I'm not as good as that French guy is. But yes, that's Spelunky. Right, let's move over to Ben. This is kind of gone in order this week, which is interesting. Ben, GOT. I'm assuming that means Game of Thrones.
No, Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh.
But I couldn't think, how do I spell Tsushima? So I put GOT and confuse you, and it worked.
Something like Google or something, wasn't it? But, anyway,
yes. Yes, no, that is pretty much the only game I've played of late, of note. It's really good. It's up my street. Now, when it first got announced, I thought it's just another third-person open worldy kind of action game. Didn't interest me until after release, in fact. But then hearing the reviews sort of saying it is a very chilled out collectathon, but not overbearing in the Ubisoft side of things. And I thought, you know what, I'll give it a go. So I've actually borrowed it off a friend, and it's a really good game. Have you guys played it at all? Don't
No,
think no.
I want to, and I will do it at some point. But I mean, I hummed and hawed. Is it that, or is it Tony Hawk's? And I definitely made the right decision
Yeah.
based on the sort of things that I want to play at the moment. Anyway, just the whole thought of a big open world bullshit thing like that. So
Yeah, but it's not.
I can't put myself
It's not
through that at the
that
moment.
overbearing so far. I mean, I'm only on the first act still. I've been doing a couple of the main story missions, but again, is that little kind of the Breath of the Wild exploration of, oh, there's a little fox there, I'll go and follow him to a shrine. And I've spent more time probably in the photo mode than I have actually playing the game. It is a very, very pretty game. But I'm really enjoying it. The story is pretty good. The voice acting is, I don't know what, but it's slightly off. I'm playing it in English, and I think the Japanese lip sync wasn't done anyway. And I'm quite a sort of visual. I need to be. It needs to be in sync, but even still, the English dialogue doesn't seem to be in sync. But other than that, as I say, it's a very pretty game. The gameplay is really good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it so far, but as usual, I've not really put too many hours into it. But I can speak to it so far. I've got a few upgrades in it, and I'd like to get it through. And again, it comes back to this sort of, it's a Sony style game where I'm gonna probably aim to get the platinum for it, and it seems not too difficult to do, and it's a very what's the word? Not dynamic, sort of. You can kind of get to the end of the game and you realise that, oh, you've only actually got a few trophies left to mop up. So yeah, I'm enjoying it.
I do want to play it. I do want to play it. I think if I do play it, I'm gonna play it in Japanese with subtitles. I think that's the only way to play it. I am gonna play it in black and white, the Kawasawa mode or whatever it is. But the thing that I've seen, and I know it's gonna sound stupid, yeah. But the thing that every time I look at anyone play in the game, and a good friend of the show, Apple, streams the game, and I've seen them play a bit of it, is the rather, first of all, I don't like waypoints. I think waypoints are stupid. I much prefer either put the point on the map and say you need to get that somewhere, or give me directions. I don't want any fucking arrow going like this way.
It's really good in that respect with the wind.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I hate that. I absolutely hate the wind thing on that game. I think it's the most dumb thing I've ever seen. Because what they done was they had an idea, which was great idea. So the wind guides you. I like it. Yeah, they go like, okay, so we put the grass goes in the direction of where the wind is going, and you go in that direction. I'm like, I love the idea. And then they were like, oh, wait a second, yeah. Most PlayStation players are window lickers, right? So we're gonna have to put put this really stupid Breath of the Wild cartoon wind chimes showing where it's going. I've never seen anything so dumb in my life. So the game is ultra realistic, and then you have this fucking Breath of the Wild wind. The wind goes that way. It's stupid. Might as well have a fucking arrow. It looks so dumb. I've never seen anything.
It's only when it's not present all of the time though.
So dumb.
If you press the touchpad once and it says right, it's that way, and you could then run that way for as long as you want until you press that again.
Dumb. It's so dumb. They're going for ultra realistic. They're going like, oh, this ultra. Everything looks great, and it does look. The game looks gorgeous. The moonlight on the meadow and the light coming through the trees. I love it. It looks great. And then you see the wind, the cartoon, the Breath of the Wild wind going. I've never seen anything so dumb in my life.
It's not always
video games,
in your face.
I don't know.
Yeah, and it's not always that obvious. It's often quite subtle. If you're walking in that direction, it's a gentle breeze rather than a strong wind.
I did say, I think it was, I did start by saying, I know it's stupid, but which is when somebody goes, I don't want to offend, but they're gonna offend. If I start by saying I know it's stupid, but I'm already admitting that I understand it's stupid and it's a me problem. But I'm just expressing what I think. I think it was such a stylistic miss there. Such a
some of the HUD does detract from it. That would be my complaint. When you get closer to your destination, an icon will appear floating in the middle of a house, and you're like, oh, that's the house I need to go to, which is a bit not game breaking, but immersion breaking. But I don't think the wind is actually that bad when playing it. It does look a bit gimmicky when watching, but I don't think it's that bad when playing it. And also, when you encounter another enemy, obviously they're not their health bars, but if you break their armor, there's this bar across the top of their head. That again is immersion breaking, but the rest of it is truly quite a wonderful walk through the Japanese countryside, and so far 2 times fresh. So,
yeah, I think for a game where they put so much thought into the style of it, and they have the Karagawa mode with all black and white, and they put so much style into it. Literally, somebody in testing, I bet you when it was in early tests of probably an alpha version, somebody said, "Shit, it's not apparent where the wind is going. Let's put some cartoon wind in." Then I honestly think it was a bolt-on fix for a solution which of a problem they made themselves. So I think they should have just gone with it. Like, fuck it, that's how we design it. That's how it's gonna be. I think it was for me it looks dumb, but anyway, that's just for me. You also been playing Man of Medan.
Yeah, I played it a couple of weeks ago now. It's all right. I think it's because it was Until Dawn creators, what are they called? Supergiant, Supermassive. People that make games.
Yeah.
Supermassive, that's it. Yeah, my initial takeaway from Men at Medan is I'm about halfway through the story. It's a bit clunky at times. Sometimes the scenes, it seems to have sort of, you play one part of the story, it cuts to another part of the story, and then it carries on from where you left off. But in my playthrough so far, there's been jumps between the scenes, and you think, well, hang on a minute, how did that happen? So I don't know whether or not I've just managed to navigate around a crucial scene or whatever. But it is like you say, the Until Dawn developers, story based. We were playing it 2-player, so we actually took control of certain characters that you decide at the beginning of the game who you're going to take control of. And yeah, it's all right. I've not felt the need to go back to it. The story is pretty bland, really. In fact, I can't even think what it was now. I know I'm on a ship, an abandoned ship that's disappeared 40 years ago or something along those lines, and it's sort of a ghost ship style. But yeah, it's all right. Have you guys played? I think it was Adam that actually played it. Yeah, it was Adam.
He might have done. I'm not sure. I played it recently. Me and the wife played through it. Really disappointing. A massive drop from Until Dawn. The story, nothing really happens in the story. It's really quite boring. I think the main
through to the end.
Yeah. I mean, it's not long. It's only about 4 hours long, something like that. So, it's. I think the problem is the characters. And the setting. I think in Until Dawn, the characters were decent. They each had very much their own personality. You started liking or disliking characters, which made you care / not care / applaud when they got brutally murdered. And I just think it had that whole classic sort of teen slasher horror movie type vibe that it had going on. Just works so much better in Until Dawn. So yeah, I found it a bit boring, to be honest with you. I'm excited about the next one because again, it fit from the trailer that I've seen. It looks like it is a bit more back to that sort of style of Until Dawn in terms of the setup.
Yeah,
it seems more like teenagers out camping or something like that from the very brief trailer that I saw. So yeah, I'm still excited about the new one. But
now that you say it, yeah, the characters really are pretty bland, and they've done that whole kind of well, we need a good guy, we need a bad guy, we need someone that's stupid, we need someone that's really smart but stupid, and they've just sort of mashed these character archetypes together and then try to link them, and they're not really particularly linked. So yeah, I think like you say, the characters probably don't help. It looks very pretty. I don't know if it was my experience with it, but the lip syncing and some of the scene editing was not very good at all. And again, I don't know if that's just a slight delay in my sound system or perhaps the disc was slow. I don't know. But yeah, all in all, Play Until Dawn, Man of Medan.
I'm starting to think there's something wrong with Ben's PlayStation, and the lip syncing is bad on every game, and he just goes like, "Oh, the lip sync on this game is bad."
Yeah.
I'm gonna monitor this over the next few weeks, and if he says I'm
Yeah.
playing this game and the lip syncing is bad, I'm like, there's something wrong with your either because isn't it like the audio and thing can be off sync or something, the audio from a game and
yeah, because I've got several ways into my TV through either the soundbar or then through the TV back to the soundbar. So yeah, I think I might have to rejig my wiring.
I'm starting to think you need to maybe look at because you can change the timing on those. I'm starting to think it's a timing thing on your setup.
It's a few milliseconds out, but it's enough to really grind my gears.
Because even though I was saying the with the Ghost of Tsushima that the wind does look goofy, and it does, the lip syncing looked fine for me when I was watching the video. So I thought I wasn't I wasn't paying that much attention, but maybe you just need to have a look at
their lips don't really move much. I think that's the thing that bothers me in Ghost of Tsushima. It's kind of just
is it a Japanese thing? I'm gonna kill you.
Kind of. Maybe they've tried to do it on purpose. I don't know, but yeah, it's ever so slightly out, and the animation, the facial animations in Ghost of Tsushima is not where it should be, I think, and that's probably what is more the annoyance. But having said that, I will rejig my wiring and see if it is just my user error.
Let's have a look. I'm not saying I wasn't saying user error. I was saying
you were implying it, Bruno. Come on.
I was happily implying it, but I wasn't saying it. That's something.
That's two different things.
Right. Right. Okay, that's great. On the. I tell you what, I have played the new game. I'm not going to talk about it that much. I played a new game which was out for review. If a game, and I'm not going to say the name of the game because it's not fair, but if a game makes you play six tutorial levels before it lets you start playing the game, and you're stuck on the first tutorial because it still makes no fucking sense, and you have to repeat, you have to repeat the first tutorial 6 times until you get it. And then you go like, oh, I get it. This game is terrible. Yeah, I just no. It looks great, but no. That's all I'm gonna say on that game. I'm not gonna be. I'm not in the because I didn't give it enough time. I'm stuck in the tutorial. I haven't gave it enough of a chance, so I cannot say the game is bad because it might get much better later on. But I lost like an hour. I'm like, no thank you.
You're not a tutorial-based person anyway, Bruno. So.
No. Don't make me make any tutorials. Don't make me do any tutorials. Yeah, no, no, thank you. Right, let's move on to. Oh yes, the other thing I was gonna say is, and when I with that Epic thing, I nearly bought the Crisis Remastered edition because I think that's like 20 odd quid or something. Yeah, and I was like, I don't know which one to get. And then when I was watching the Digital Foundry video on Crisis Remastered, did you guys know that they made a remaster of the Xbox 360 and PS3 version, not of the PC version?
Yeah.
Okay.
They remastered the Xbox version, so a lot of the and they would doing side-by-side comparisons. Some things look better, of course, but a lot of things look much worse than the original. Crisis,
like flat rocks.
Why did they do that?
It's stupid. And they were doing things like throwing like a grenade onto bushes. On the original one, you see the bushes moving with the grenade passing. This one, the bushes are like just still, nothing happens on this version. It's just when they were doing a side-by-side comparison, honestly, the original version still looks better in many ways. And more to the point, the original version had an issue, which was it was only dual core. He used 2 cores of the CPU, but he primarily used one only, and he didn't use the other ones. Something can easily be fixed now by making it use more of different cores for different processes. They haven't fixed that, so you can still not really max it on any decent computer. So because the processors still only go up to a certain amount anyway, and if you're only using one core, doesn't matter if you have 32 of them. If you're only going to use one, So yeah, I was like, no, thank you. So I'm gonna give that a pass. I was so excited to play that game, but once I saw that video, completely, I own the original, so I might as well just go and play that if I want
You
to.
just use that and upscale it and fancy it. Yeah.
But I can play that at 4K, 60. It's still, that game is still hard to run. It's still hard to run today. The new Crisis anyway. It's Microsoft Flight Sim. That's a new Crisis. Nothing can run that game properly. Nothing can run that game properly at all. Right. Let's move on to the why don't you part then of the show, and this is the part where we give you a suggestion of something to do, listen, eat, whatever you want over the next couple of weeks. I'm gonna start. That's okay with you guys, and This is unusual. I'm 6 hours ish into a 16-hour audiobook, and I'm gonna recommend it anyway, even though it can completely fall off a cliff now. But I'm gonna recommend it on the strength of the first 6 hours. And that's Heaven's Reaper, which is the 4th book in the Bobbyverse universe. As you guys know, myself and Marius are massive fans of the original trilogy of the Bobbyverse, and with this one here, they kind of go searching for Bender, one of the AI clones that went in one direction. And this book is more, the other ones were focused in lots of different areas of different galaxies and different systems, and like sometimes up to 10 or more stories going on at once, and then all interconnected at the end. That was great. This one is more focused on this one thing, but I kind of like that. It still goes back and forth into different planets, but it's mostly focused on this one thing. I'm not going to say what it is, but this one thing on the search, essentially on the search for Bender. And it's great still. It's still funny. It still has the references we like. I'm forgetting his name now. What's the guy that reads the book?
Ray Porter.
Ray Porter is fantastic. Is fantastic in this again, and it's fantastic in anything he does anyway. And I so far 6 hours in, I haven't put it down. Literally yesterday, girlfriend went to bed. I could have just played the game or watched a TV show or something, and I sat in the sofa, just listened to an audiobook. She's like, "Yep, I was just sitting here listening to this audiobook. I just love it. It's and if I had the book, I would obviously just been reading it. But I think I'm starting to prefer more audiobooks than reading because somebody's performing for me. They're doing the different voices and everything. I just have to sit back and enjoy. I quite like it. It's quite lazy, I know, but I quite like it. I still like reading. Don't get me wrong. I still have lots of books, and I try and read every now and then. But I prefer audiobooks at the moment. I would say. I know it's sacrilege, but I do. Sorry, it's true. But I recommend it. And Marius, you should whenever you have a chance, should get on that.
Yeah, I'll get to it at some point. I'm not really listening to audiobooks at the moment because of current lifestyle, but once I get back into them, then yeah, it's on my list, ready to go.
Good. All right. So we'll start with Ben. Well, we'll continue with Ben. Ben, you want to recommend Interstellar? Okay, tell us why.
Interstellar. Yeah, I just really like it. Marius, your turn.
Thanks for your review, man.
Next one, we have Rick and Morty from. Okay, sorry, no, go back.
No, so I had actually seen it before, but Sophie hadn't, and I was trying to explain what it was, and I just thought it was about time travel, but it's not about time travel at all. It's obviously about some humans going off into space to try and find a better place to live, but it explores some really interesting ideas of bending space, time, and physics and stuff. And if you haven't seen it, I find it quite a gripping film to watch end to end. Usually, I struggle sitting down for more than an hour to watch something. The soundtrack's done by Hans Zimmer, which is that in itself is for me a must watch. But I really like Interstellar. That's my why don't you? I'd be interested to hear what you guys have said about it.
A couple of things on this Interstellar. First of all, I'm a massive Nolan fan. I think I like all his movies. Interstellar is not my favorite movie from his, but it's certainly one of my favorite one from him. It's not my favorite. I think I know this is going to be controversial, but I think Memento and Prestige might be his best movies, even though they're the ones that at least talked about. Both of those movies are excellent. Memento and Prestige, I really like. I like this Dark Knight stuff as well. But yeah, I liked Interstellar. One fun fact, and I'm probably gonna butcher the fact, but it's something along those lines. I heard it on No Such Thing as a Fact. No Such Thing as a Fish. No such, we could start a podcast called No Such Thing as a Fact and just come up with facts that are incorrect.
Well, that's the
We just make up facts. More on that later. No such thing as a fact. We'll probably get sued by them, but I like it. Which was Nolan. The cornfields you see at the beginning. They couldn't find the location to do it, so they actually planted it themselves for the movie. And they sold the corn and made a profit on it. That went towards I think they made like 200,000 or something. And my point on that was, I think it was 200,000. That's why I said I might butcher the I don't know how much he made. I think it was 200,000. But I remember listening to the fact on the No Such Thing as a Fish podcast, which by the way is a recommendation always. You guys should subscribe. I'm like, bloody hell, corn sells for a lot of money. I didn't know there was so much money in corn. Bloody hell. That was
most of North America has corn. That's their
was interesting
bread and butter, so to speak.
But that thing I like about Interstellar, apart from it, there's great acting throughout and great soundtrack, great cinematography, great everything, is that everything that happens on the movie is technically theoretically possible. So there's nothing that happens. Exactly. Yeah. There's nothing on it that happens. Sorry, but thanks. I was struggling with that. Thank you. There's nothing that happens on it that's not potentially possible.
Possible within reasons of physics to a point, I think.
Nothing has been disproven. Nothing that happens on it has been disproven. Nothing that happened with a lot of it has been proven. So nothing of it can be disproven, which is interesting. This is very interesting.
No, there's a guy that the scientific advisor wrote the book about the science of Interstellar, which I'd be interested to read actually, because scientifically it's based on theoretical science of this could be a thing that would be
as was Contact,
reality.
By the way. As was Contact as well. If you remember Contact with also Matthew McConaughey as well, a much younger Matthew McConaughey and Jodie Foster, I want to say, and that's a great movie as well. Contact, I highly recommend. If you when I watched Interstellar back when it came out on IMAX. By the way, that's the famous shushing I did to a couple. I was watching Interstellar and they were like. Talking about it, he was mansplaining to her, even though I think she had a much better grasp on what's happening than he did. Anyway, so I just shush them both anyway, because I don't care if you're a man or a woman. Shut the fuck up on the cinema, right? There's that was the shushing incident happened on that. But no, I really like Interstellar. But yes, when I watched Interstellar originally, I immediately went and watched Contact, and. Contact is still great, even though it's the 90s. It's still very, very watchable. And again, when it was done as well, it was all theoretically possible. I think some things have been disproven. I think since the 90s when it came out. But I think it was it's also a great movie with Matthew McConaughey. That before he had his McCognance, whatever it's called, when he went from being a rom-com. Only actor to actually Oscar winner and doing great things. Have you guys seen True Detective at all?
No.
No, I don't think so.
Oh wow! Listen, both of you, yeah. Listen. True Detective has like 3 seasons. Forget about season 2 and 3. Yeah, not important. Season 1 is it's an anthology series, so the season 2 and season 3 are not connected at all. Anyway, season 1, Matthew McConaughey, Woody Anderson. Probably, I think 7 or 8 episodes. Probably the best run of one season of any show ever, and that's including Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones. Anything, it's that good. Honestly, it's that good. You guys should definitely watch True Detective. But yeah, I love Interstellar. Great recommendation.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Now from a really good recommendation to Marius, Rick and Morty.
Yeah, have either of you guys seen Rick and Morty?
I watched the first series in a bit, but it's just like, I get it, it's fine, but I haven't got the time or the energy to care.
Oh no, I really like it. I really like it. So I mean, it's a bit old now. I think I don't know. Maybe the last season 4 was only a year or 2 ago. I think, but it's been running for a little while. So yeah, it's an animated cartoon series. about Rick and Morty. Rick being the world's most intelligent, or the universe's most intelligent person. So he's essentially this like scientist granddad. So he's living in at home with his daughter and her family. The son Morty, he's a little bit slow. And he just keeps taking Morty on these crazy adventures. Like he has a portal gun that he can go to different universes, and it's just fucked up. Like he's alcoholic as well, which is funny. And it's just like it's one of those things that's just wrong at just my level of wrongness. That I think that's why I like it. So like they completely fuck up one of the possible universes, one of the dimensions. So they just go to another one and kill themselves in that dimension that they haven't fucked up, so that they can carry on there, and then bury their own selves in the garden. And like there's one, I think my particular favorite episode is where Rick turns himself into a pickle just so that he doesn't have to go to a family counselling session.
I think that's about as far as I've seen.
Yeah, and just like it's one of those you either get it or you don't. I think so. Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I was just really disappointed to find that they've only bothered so far to put half of the final season on Netflix. So I was sat down for a nice binge watch to watch 10 episodes. And all of a sudden got to 5 episodes and it stopped. Oh, okay.
I think Rick and Morty is something I may have to try and give another chance. I tried watching once. I think I watched 4 episodes and I was out. Most of the jokes were not landing for me, and that's just maybe me. I don't know if it was the frame of mind I was at the time. I don't know what it was, but most of them were not landing. And I think it's because I like most humor, but there's one I don't like, and it's toilet humor. Toilet humor is never funny for me, ever. You know,
like, it's always funny. You're so wrong.
Which is fine, but for me, it's never. So somebody farting in somebody's face might be hilarious to somebody else. To me, I'm like, okay, that's not funny at all. Yeah. So because I don't like toilet humor, certainly the first 4 episodes, it was a lot of burping and this and that. And I'm like,
he always burps. Yeah, that's just.
Am I supposed to be laughing, burping? You know, and
I wouldn't say it's based on toilet humor. There's some of that in there, but I don't think that's what the show's about.
But that's what I'm saying. Maybe I need to give it another chance because I know that. I mean, some of the things you said there to me, the going to an alternative dimension and killing your own self there and burying it in a garden so that you can. Keep going. It sounds brilliant, sounds genius, and I like that. So some of the things you said there sound like something I would really enjoy. But when I watched, like I said, the first 4 or 5 episodes, I just didn't click. Yeah. It just didn't click at all with me. But
I think if you feel that way, it's probably not going to change. Like I don't miss the fact that I haven't seen it. If it's on the telly and I'm watching it, I'll enjoy it. But I'm not. Yeah, I don't think you'd need to go back to it if you didn't like it.
I don't know, but then again, I like Family Guy, and most people don't like Family Guy as well. So it's kind of like
Family Guy got very repetitive, though. Did you not find like eventually it becomes the same jokes each episode, or even in the same episode, it's just like repeating the same thing. Yeah, which I don't find funny.
Yeah, I think certainly early seasons were better than later seasons for sure. But like I said, maybe I need to give it a bit more of a chance. I know that I did try to watch it, and it just didn't land.
Fair enough. I'll drop a secondary. Why don't you? Seeing as you've just mentioned Matthew McConaughey.
Yes.
Is The Wolf of Wall Street?
I knew you were going to say that, by the way.
Well done.
Thank you.
That's a
I watched it again, probably the 3rd, maybe 4th time I've seen that movie. I just love that movie. I think it's absolutely brilliant. I think it's so well made. It's very amusing as well, and I think the whole story itself it is just entertaining.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I've only seen the movie once. I think it's definitely do a rewatch for sure. One part I remember laughing out loud and talking about something which is funny for me, and physical comedy is quite hard to make me laugh because physical comedy is it's very difficult to make me laugh with it. Unless you Mr. Bean, I always laugh at Mr. Bean. I don't know why. Maybe because it's funny. But there's a part where he's drunk and he's trying to get in his car, and
he's taken a load of what do they quaaludes, yeah.
Yeah.
And but they're an old batch, they're an out of date batch,
Yeah.
so they've eaten some, and then he's like, oh, this isn't doing anything, so they eat more, and then he goes to this country club, and they just suddenly start kicking in, and and he can't manage anything, so he's like, what do I do? And he's like, he thinks about his daughter. He's like, oh, crawl, she can crawl, I can crawl. And then he gets to the top of the steps and he's like, what can I do? Roll, I can roll. And just like throws him down his steps. But the best bit about that is afterwards he's like, so he gets in his car and he's like, I was driving so slow, like 1 mile an hour, and he's like waving people by him, and he's like, by some miracle I got home and both me and the car were completely unscathed. And then he falls asleep, and the next morning the old Bill woke him up and said, like, did you drive your car last night? And then his car is completely wrecked.
Yeah.
That's a great scene, that.
Absolutely ruined. It's just, but like, and like, obviously this is all based on a real person, and a lot of those things that happen in the movie genuinely happened. That's why I went to it. I just randomly saw a video of this guy talking about that scene actually, and I was like, oh yeah, that is funny. I need to go and watch it again. And yeah, I absolutely love that movie. I could easily go and watch it again now. I don't know, there's something about that movie I just really like.
It
is good.
I mean, I like it a lot, and I'm a big DiCaprio fan anyway. Always been. I think some people were a bit sniffy about him when he was in Titanic, saying he wasn't very good. He was good before that. He's amazing in What's Eating Gibber Grape when he was a kid. He was nominated for an Oscar even then, and he's good in everything he does. And he's good in Catch Me If You Can as well, which is also playing a real life person.
Yeah, that is good. Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah, I was trying to find here. I was going to recommend a movie to you, and I'm failing here to get it, because you said you liked if you like the physical comedy of it. I'm forgetting the name of the movie. I'll find it in a second. But there's a movie with Russell Crowe. Claire Grace Moretz, whatever the name is, that younger actress, and Ryan Gosling. Is it the good guys or the bad guys or something along those lines? And Ryan Gosling. I'll find the name of the movie in a second. But Ryan Gosling plays this cop. Which there's a part where he gets he's either on drugs or really drunk as well. I think he's. Because they go to this party, this is like in the 70s as well, and Russell Crowe is playing the straight guy, the straight cop on this one, and at one point he's looking at these girls that are dressed as mermaids that are swimming inside his tank with a scuba diving gear on, and all of a sudden you see Ryan Gosling jumping in and swimming with them, and then when he asks him later what happened, he's like, I was trying to question the mermaids, because he was all completely fucked as well. So it's one of those you need to watch it, but it's very, very funny, that movie. If I can get you the name of the movie in a second. If you guys keep talking about yourselves, I'll find out what the movie is called.
Talking about
well, while we're on weird drug things, I know I've recommended it on the podcast before, but Gossip Mongers podcast. In particular, there's an episode of that called there's an episode where one of the gossips is called Space Worm, where some guy takes copious hallucinogenic drugs at a wedding and believes he's some sort of cosmic space worm, which is absolutely hilarious. I love that.
It's called The Nice Guys, and you should definitely. I think it's on Netflix. You'll definitely like it. It's a Shane Black movie, and yeah, it's great. I've seen that movie a couple times, but I remember going to the cinema to watch that movie with my sister, her boyfriend, and my girlfriend at the time. And I remember going to cinema, and they liked it. Don't get me wrong, they liked it, but I was laughing the whole. And I think I was the only person in the whole cinema laughing at everything. I was buying everything they were selling, and there was literally no one else laughing. So it could be one of those that I don't think it's there for everyone. It's reviewed quite well as well, so you guys might like it. Yeah, the Nice Guys. Give it a watch. It's a lot of fun as well. And yes, Gosling, Ryan Gosling, which is one of my favorite actors, is great. He can do great physical comedy, which is very difficult to do. But so can obviously DiCaprio in spades on that scene you were talking about. Where
yeah, he does such a good job.
So yeah, you should definitely watch those. I think there's a lot. That's the most amounts of why don't yous I have to read written down there. We have 6 why don't yous. And 1, 2, 3, 4 of them have a Matthew McConaughey. So there you go. Bloody hell! Oh yeah. So we got Luis just jumped in on chat there saying he's watched it and he thinks it's funny. It is funny. Yes, very good. But I think that's it. Are we done there? How's your back, Ben? How's your back holding up?
It's really painful, if I'm honest. I haven't moved yet though, so I'm all right sitting. But I don't know what I've done.
I didn't know you were a Settlers fan. I can see in the background there you got a Settlers.
I am a fan of Settlers. That's actually something my mate was chucking out, but it was the collector's edition of Settlers 7, which came with some packs of wheat and something else. It was actual seeds that you could plant in the ground. But yeah, I don't know what it is.
Have you played? Have you? Oh, look, it's really struggling with his back. You can see it when it turns.
Yeah.
Very
so
good.
It's a figure, something or other. But no, I actually quite like the Settler series. I had a binge of it recently. We were trying to work out which one was the better one to play, but we ended up, I think it was Settlers 2, which we got through good old games. It was a ball ache to try and get it installed, something, but we had fun, played it on a network, never played it since. But yeah, I like Settlers as a concept.
Are you a Age of Empires fan at all then, or not as well?
Yeah, no, big fan of Age of Empires back in the day. Doesn't interest me per se now.
Shall I just log off now, guys?
Marius loves Age of Empires. In fact, he said he watched my stream of Age of Empires and it was the best thing he's ever seen anyone streaming ever, apparently.
Well, yeah, I mean, if that's your interpretation, I think what I actually said was I watched it for about 5 minutes, but I had to switch it off because I was in danger of falling into a coma.
Strategy games in that format are very of their time. They don't necessarily hold up so well.
But it wasn't verbatim what he said, but it was. I kind of got the gist of it. We got Smokey on chat as well saying he loves Settlers and obviously indeed Age of Empires. Hi Smokey, hi Luis, and Ben. Thank you as well for Ben did a bit of modding for us today, which is great. He came in at the beginning and told us. We cannot hear any of you guys. Okay, start again, which was very helpful. So we are very grateful to him for that.
Thanks, Ben. Great name, by the way.
I think we're gonna leave it there. If you're not subscribed to us, we're on every platform going. Listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. Even YouTube now, so we're everywhere. Even Amazon Music are doing a podcasting, and I believe we're there as well. So subscribe to us if you're not subscribed already, and subscribe to our Twitch, which is Monkeytail UK as well. If you wanna see us recording the podcast live, and this one will be out on Tuesday, and I have no doubt that between now and Tuesday, some other big news are gonna drop, and Microsoft are gonna buy Valve. Or Nintendo gonna buy Sony, something. By the way, Nintendo has got a lot of money as well. You were talking about money. Nintendo has a operating cash of I think 40 billion. By the way, so Nintendo could buy Sony if they if they felt that way inclined. Well, I don't think they can buy the whole of Sony, but certainly their gaming division if they so wished. I would love for that to happen. Actually, it'd be funny because then you guys will get no online play. If you want to talk to somebody online, you need to log in through another app that goes through the toaster, and that's the only way to talk online. It'd be funny. Yeah. $3.3 billion Sorry.
Nintendo's 3.3 billion.
No, that's not
Nintendo's operating profit for the last year.
Sorry, that's not what I meant.
The
Sorry.
last year?
That's not what I meant.
Yeah.
Cash flow. That's what I meant. Sorry. How much they have in cash flow. So that's what I meant. How much they can go and use if they needed to. I think something like 40 billion, if I'm not mistaken. I love being fact checked when I come up with a fact. It's one of my favorite
No
things
problem.
Have you fact checked the how much they have cash flow? I mean, this is all gonna make it into an Easter egg anyway. Let's face it. There's no way. There's no way this is making it to the actual podcast. No chance.
No, the only thing I can see easy numbers for that still aren't easy numbers. No, I'm not. I mean, this is in yen.
Yen. Oh, okay.
So
wow.
Like, who knows?
Billions and billions and billions.
Well, no. See, that just says 12 million, but that can't be right.
No.
That's nowhere near that'd be about 20p in yen.
Well, I'm trying to find it as well, and it's all in yen. I promise you that
whatever, they've got money. We know they've got money.
I think it's something silly like 40 billion. I think it's around that, and I think Microsoft is something stupid like Microsoft's one is something like 200 billion or something. Like they have a
I think it's madness.
They'll be all right financially for a couple of years, I'm pretty sure.
No, they're worth nearly 2 trillion in stock market, but I'm talking about how much money.
Yeah, what even is that number? It's ridiculous.
A trillion, I believe, is a million, I believe.
A million, which is it's mad.
It's crazy, isn't it? Because
at that point, it just becomes imaginary credits, doesn't it?
Yeah, because
you can't quantify that amount of money.
A billion is 1,000 million, but I think when you go to trillion is a million or something stupid like that. It's a lot of money. Okay, it's ridiculous. Anyway.
Yeah, the important thing here is it's lunchtime and I'm getting hungry.
All right,
that works for me.
I'm gonna wait. I have to wait for the girlfriend to come home before I go and do any food. But yes, okay, that's been great. I've been great. You've been Ben.
Yay!
You've been Marius. Yeah, and we'll see you again in a couple of weeks. All right, keep safe. Don't wear a mask.
Goodbye, all the people.
Okay, bye. Yeah.